Elliot and Sam. I did that way too fast.
That was very
Jesus,
energetic.
that was
It was way too.
It's like 10 o'clock here, man.
that was
It is
fucking
5 p.m.
enthusiastic.
That was. We're
you
leaving
just
it
cracked
then.
up.
Fuck
You
it.
finished work, just cracked open a beer. Like you're ready to go. I'm ready to sleep.
Sorry, can you
We're-
can you do that again? I'm kind of like off put by what just happened.
No, we're leaving that. Fuck it. We're leaving it. Big show for today. Middle elimination stage, whatever we're calling it this week, is completed for the major. There is a couple of other bits of news though, so we're going to tackle those before we get into the major. Let's start with PGL. PGL have announced new events for 2025, Tier 1 events. They will be in order, Cluj-Napoca, Romania, Bucharest, Romania, Astana, Kazakhstan, and Belgrade, Serbia throughout the year. All of these will be open qualifiers to go through. Yeah.
It's been a while since we've had actual events in Romania.
I'm kind of hyped for it. I'm very excited for Astana, Kazakhstan.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm very hyped to never go to
Awesome.
one of those events.
yeah, I mean, I'm probably not gonna.
Like, fuck would I
Probably
go
not
to
gonna
a
go to those,
PGL
but-
event again. Fuck that shit.
Well, I'd assume because they had a major at the time, but
yeah,
Well,
these are the
I'd go
major.
to a major, but
I mean,
they got 2 locations still to be announced as well. So yeah,
That's for
there's 2
2026. They
Oh,
have
I
to
see.
be announced.
I'll,
So
I'll,
these are the
Okay.
2025. 2026 is the same locations, same time of year, and an additional 2 events in August and October.
yeah. I mean, I'm a little cautious of what I say about PGL because I know they like to blacklist people. But
Yeah,
also,
let's say I haven't said any of this, so
but also,
it's all on him.
fuck them because they don't have a press department. The events are in cool places, I guess.
Do you want me to just move on to the bit that you want to talk about, Sam?
Yeah, sure. I want to moan.
Okay.
I'm in a moaning mood.
So Sam has come to me ahead of this episode and messaged me and said, "Hi, I would like to talk about third place decider matches, because PGL have come out ahead of time. Says each tournament will be a $1.25 million prize pool, and there will be a difference between third and fourth place in terms of prize money, and so there will be a third place decider. Additionally, before Sam starts bitching and moaning." There's also a best of 5 final, which is dumb.
Yeah, best of 5 should be for Katowice and Cologne only.
Thank
obviously.
you. Thank you.
I would like to add that
Sam, you're on.
before we hit record, I did say that if you have BO1s in your event at all, BO3 is fine, but if it's all BO3, BO5 final is better. I won't elaborate on that. Instead, let's
The
talk
Sunday
about
is a third place decider match into a best of 5 final.
Yeah. Okay. No. So before I talk about the third place decider, I did want to say just overall how fucking horribly packed that weekend is. So you start on the Friday with 4 quarterfinals, which I'm sure Elliot will have something to say about the idea of doing 4 BO3s on an arena day because he's actually worked in
it's not as-
production.
It's not as bad now that games are MR12 because you can actually fit in 4 in a day and it's not horrendous. When
Okay,
it
yeah,
was
fine.
MR15, I worked a week of 4 best of 3s and it was so bad that the staff signed a petition to say we're either not doing this or we want more money.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I
then
mean-
Saturday is a show match and 2 semifinals.
Right, who gives a fuck about that show match? I don't care about show matches anyway, but if you're not going to do it to get asses on seats before the final, just fuck it off.
Yeah, just don't do them. Show matches are always bad, always uninteresting. I have never sat through more than 3 rounds of a show match.
I'm fine.
enjoyed
I'm fine with
the-
a show match when it's
the,
like a new map. Like if the major has like
Fine.
a train show match, and it's not like
I'm still not watching.
and
I
it's
can't
not
even
like
be
you
asked
get
for
in
that.
It's not like you get a Brazil Last Dance roster to play a Swedish Last Dance roster, and the Brazil team treats it like they're playing the fucking Columbus Major Final again. Then
Well, I think that's good.
then
I
we're
think
all
they
good.
should have both tried.
No,
That's
it's
the only way
fucking
I'll watch a show
miserable.
match.
Miserable.
the only good show match was during before the major grand final at the other PGL grand final in Berlin. I'm going the one that
Starladder.
Gambit won.
Oh,
Thank you.
Krakow.
No,
PGL Krakow.
Krakow. Thank you. I'm forgetting all my Counter-Strike major locations.
I don't remember that show
the
much.
one that they had before Krakow. It was all talent, and they memed the entire time and chucked keyboards and broke shit.
I do remember
Yeah, I'm
that
not
show
bothered.
match now. It's the fucking Henry G lobbing the PC or whatever it is, isn't it?
The only show match that would make me interested is if they did have that Brazil Old Five versus the Swedish Old Five or Polish Old Five, and they all tried. If they all tried, I'd be interested. That'd be fun. I
Hear
want to
me
see
out.
that.
Bring back show matches, but instead of playing Counter-Strike, they play football.
Fine.
Yes.
But no. Genuinely, what they should do is for the next major final, the show match should be like a repeat of the first major final with the same 11, like same 10 players if possible, and 2 coaches if possible.
Elliot.
Just get them in. That'd be great fun.
Elliot. Which player
Do
would
the,
you most like to watch
bring
curl
the-
on top bins?
What was it? The
Snacks,
Battle for
obviously.
Cash or whatever it was? The replay of the
Chopper.
2017 E-League
The
match?
cashiers.
No, the E-League major 2017. They did the replay of that major final like a month later, Strauss VP,
Right.
because it was such a good final that the
Oh,
Clash for Cash.
Oh,
or
it was
something
like
that.
Clash for Cash. Yeah,
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
just
don't know
bring
why they
that
did that.
final back again.
Yeah, do that, but for like 10 years ago. So we actually have just like old heads who don't play the game anymore. Make them try on stage.
I'm sorry to tell you, but by the time the next major comes around, it will be 8 years since that final.
Yeah, fine.
I've had it. I've got the
So-
idea. I've got the idea. Fuck off the voting process for the HLTV Hall of Fame. Major show match. Make the nominees play each other. Winners get the spot.
Yeah. Highest
I'm here for
rating
that.
gets the spot.
Suddenly I now
Everyone
care
playing like
about the
Blame
Hall
F.
of Fame.
Everyone's playing like Blame F trying to get the highest rating.
And then there's just get
All right.
right.
Yeah, anyway, third place decider match.
Third place deciders, right. Alright, Logan, do you want to pull up the timer or some shit?
Yeah, I could pull the timer up. We got
Yeah,
good
it's-
reviews on the timer last week. So
It's fantastic.
um,
Everyone likes the timer.
all right, your 1 minute
All right.
starts now.
Right, who the fuck cares about third place deciders? Genuinely, right? So, what was it? Euros 2018. We're all having... Was it World Cup? No, it was Euros, wasn't it? We're all having, like, a fucking World Cup. We're having a fantastic time watching England. They're finally doing something good. They fuck it in the semis. They play a third, fourth decider against fucking Belgium. Did you watch that, Elliot? I didn't fucking watch it.
No.
Who cares? Do the players care? No. Do fans care if someone finishes third? No. And then you try and justify it by making some strange prize pool difference between third and fourth, which is kind of fine because maybe you'll get a better match for it, even though the players won't want to play because they've already been eliminated. And then, for some reason, you've put third too close to second, so now you may as well just get fucking knocked out fucking third, fourth, and play the easier fucking game against the other shitters that couldn't make it to the final. Basically, fuck PGL.
Alright, I'd like to play devil's advocate. That is, my modus operandi. What I will say is, for the tournament organizer, having an extra game with, like, however many viewers, because it's before the final, is probably worth a decent chunk of money to them. And, you're lucky enough to be playing fucking Counter-Strike for a living. I'm sure you can stomach up playing one more match to make the people paying your fucking livelihood a little bit richer.
I'm
So
still
I
looking
feel.
at this show match and 2 semifinals on the same day thing. Fuck the third place decider.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
like,
just-
obviously, a third place decider is
you have to play a
stupid.
You play
Yeah, I'm
in
trying to
3
use a
days in
word
a
that I
row.
can use.
Quarterfinal, a semifinal, and then after playing 2 days of high quality, theoretically, matches in a row, that you have done well, at least in the quarterfinal, and played the semifinal to some degree. Imagine if you get absolutely stomped by like Pain Gaming in the semifinals, and you're G2.
You've got bigger problems than playing in the third place.
No, but now you have to go sit in the third place decider. Like,
yeah, I mean, not to go all Roy Keane, but that is your job. Your job is to play Counter-Strike. You can play an extra fucking.
I don't disagree.
But
you've
brought up Roy
Keane,
right? Like you've brought up Roy Keane. He's probably the first person that would say third, fourth place deciders are fucking stupid. You're already out. Fuck off.
Roy Keane wouldn't lose, so he wouldn't have to play it.
Roy Keane probably lost quite a few times, actually.
Okay.
No, I don't think he ever lost.
I want to bring back up the.
Is it the semi-finals
Krakow
of the show
Major,
match?
Okay. No. I want to bring up the Krakow Major again, okay? Because the Krakow Major, the finalists were Immortals and Gambit, okay?
Dog shit.
It was okay. You can have whatever thoughts you want, but what would the third, fourth place match for that major have been?
Astralis versus Virtus Pro.
North?
Yeah.
Was it North or
Virtus
VP?
Pro.
VP.
It's VP.
Pro.
A considerably better game than Immortals Gambit was.
Yes. I bet PGL wished they had a third place game then. They'd have made a lot more money off that than they did the major final in terms of viewership. Maybe.
I don't know.
Probably.
To be fair,
we have one more bit to talk about.
I'd like to just retract a statement really quick. I called that final dog shit. That final was actually quite fun.
It was alright, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of...
It was
a dog shit teams.
People wanted it to be bad.
Dog shit teams, but it was quite fun.
One of them won a major, mate. It can't be that bad.
If you remove nameplates, it was a good final.
If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike.
No. Even with nameplates on, it was a good final. It's got some legendary players in there.
Let's move to...
Who else?
Let's move to the other non-major conversation we have to have. Ninjas in Pajamas are at it again. They have made more roster moves. They are in yet another situation.
I would like to say, Logan, I did bring this up to you knowing that Elliot was just going to say not bothered, and I was also going to say
I'm thoroughly
not
aware.
asked. Let's move on.
I'm thoroughly aware. My entire premise, my entire thought process in bringing this up was they benched a player and no one knew until I just told you about it.
And they didn't. Yeah, I always like it when they bench a
Rez.
player before they've even bothered to figure out who they're signing. It's like we don't know who we're getting, but they've got to be better than you.
It's
It
also
always makes me laugh.
It's also quite.
They literally
I thought
have
he was
done
benched
that
already. I actually
didn't
didn't
even- I
realise
don't
he
even know
wasn't
who he
benched
is.
already.
I thought he was an academy player.
He's not
already.
playing
He was,
since,
and
like,
then they brought
Pro
him up
League.
because
Yeah.
he's been playing for them since March. No, we're moving on. I can't.
I just don't get like NIP. Like they're in the OG zone where they just don't even register as a Counter-Strike team in my head anymore. Like there's only a limited amount of space I have left for Counter-Strike teams. And NIP
Actually,
they're not getting in there.
Can we talk about that for a second? Because I was talking about that with our good friend Jack earlier, and obviously he's a very big NIP fan, as you know, Elliot, and maybe you know as well, Logan. Top eight major analyst. I've heard him say once or twice. And he was very confused about what NIP might do next. Is it just better if they release the Counter-Strike division?
I was going to say fade
Like,
into non-existence.
A genuine,
Whatever
rather
they do,
than,
they're going to rebuild around Rez, and it's not going to work again.
rather than actually waste any more money, just pull out. Like,
It's not even money. I mean, obviously it's not my money, so it's easy to say that. But it's actually, they're just wasting time. They've wasted about a minute of this podcast already.
you know, like
More than that.
No, but
they have collectively wasted hours of you and I, Elliot.
Yeah, I genuinely hate them.
they're not even going to get an invite to Blast Bounty. 32 teams are going to get an invite to that tournament.
Where are they really? Is that like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
confirmed thing, or is that you're just bullshitting?
No, they're out.
Being
They're
the one
outside.
kid in class who doesn't get the invite.
They're outside of the ranking. They're 34th.
That's
They're
fucking
they're
hilarious.
34th on Valve's ranking, and if Valve has the same thing as HLTV, where they'll lose points for losing a player, they'll be even lower by the next time the ranking comes out. Like they're fucked. They're not getting any invites next year. They're not going to
I'm
any
looking at-
reasonable LAN.
No, they're 43rd in global Valve rankings.
Oh, I heard Jack wrong. Oh, it's even worse.
Yeah, no, they're genuinely below Metisport with Plopsky.
Oh, good God.
We're spending too much time on them.
That's really sad.
Do you know who else is above them? No, Navi Javelins. There were 9 Pandas. NRG are above them.
NRG!
Do you know who's on? Wait, hold on.
NRG are above them.
Okay, without looking, do you know who is on the NRG roster
I've
right
already
now?
looked, I'm afraid.
Ooh,
Sam, do you know who's on the NRG roster right now?
Nitro.
Yes.
Didn't they just sign George? That happened in like the last week.
That's like a 3-week-old thing. Do you know who was on before George?
Automatic.
Yes.
Okay, Nitro. George / Automatic. Rush? No, Hex, Steve.
No.
Hex.
Hex, yes.
Hex must be on it. OC?
Yes. Yes.
Fuck.
The problem is the last player, this is the person I expected him to get to start.
Yeah. Best player in the world on, like, against one team.
Best player in the world in the year 2020 in America.
No. In the year 2020.
I'm
Against
sorry.
Astralis. He always destroyed Astralis on his own.
Am I being really fucking stupid?
Yes.
Breeze. Oh,
Yeah.
I just forgot about him because he's fucking terrible. They're also below Partizan, by the way.
Yeah, who doesn't have Emmy playing.
Yeah, that was going to be my next point. They have Emmy playing on their team.
So many teams. I mean, they're below Fnatic. That's pretty embarrassing.
You just gotta leave at this point.
They're below Fluxo with Kai.
They need to just like they need to partner with some random guy that replies them on Twitter that goes, "Hey, you should do this move."
They just signed Kai.
Just no, like literally just take Twitter responses as their next signing moves, and it couldn't be worse.
Do you remember when they had Twitch plays Pokemon? It's like that.
Yeah.
Twitch signed
Twitter
NOPs next
Twitter plays Counter-Strike. What do you want? All right. Let's go talk about the major. We have finished up the elimination stage. Was any of this done when we had chatted last week?
No, didn't it start the next day? I'm pretty sure
I think it started the next day. So, some interesting things here have happened. Let's start with the 3-0s, and we'll work our way outside in, as we normally do. So, the 2 3-0 teams. Mongols and Vitality. Let's start with Vitality.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either are actually that surprising.
No, I'm not
I
surprised by either. I was just very interested in saying it.
The best stat I heard about Mongols is the last team to beat them was Ents.
That's quite funny. I wrote some stat about them in the newsletter because I, for some reason, wrote newsletter articles this week. And I had something in there, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, the last time they lost was Ents in Elisa Masters Espoo semi-final. They haven't lost since.
That wasn't that long ago, though. Was it?
It was October. 2
Or-
months.
but how many games-
Losing to Ents is more the issue.
Didn't Ents do really well?
So
at that?
the
Didn't they
Mongols-
win that? They win that?
Yeah, but they've been terrible since. So since then they won Thunderpick, beat Cloud9 Fnatic Imperial, 3D Max Heroic, beat Alter Ego and Drillers in the RMR, beat Rare Atom, MIBR, Gamer Legion, and now G2 Mouse and Heroic.
What's that put it at?
So-
Like 15 games?
It's a
6,
lot.
10, 13.
13.
They're the first Asian team to go 3-0 in a major.
They're the first Asian team to get 2 wins. When they got 2 wins, they were already the best performing Asian team ever.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
And
Like,
they have 6 wins.
I know you said it earlier, but I'm really not that surprised, given how they've been playing. And
And
really
they have
do
a
hope
real
they go all
shot
the way.
to make. I was gonna say they have a really good shot to make the finals. Looking at the playoff bracket, we'll get to that later once we talk about all these teams. But they have a very good shot of making it to the major finals.
Yep.
On the other side, Vitality are still very good.
Yeah, they don't lose to underdogs. Vitality is just so imperious, so difficult to beat if you're not really good. You just like there's just a required level you have to be at least this tall to ride the ride. Like you have to be at least this good to even have a chance of beating Vitality. Like they just don't lose to bad teams.
Do you think they're the favorites?
They played a lot of every team that they played did not make playoffs.
Yeah, that helps.
I
So-
mean,
Like,
they didn't
Vitality
really
are-
play
no, you're
anyone
still
good.
No,
No,
they
they
didn't. They played Gamer Legion, Furia, and then MIBR. Who
Yeah, which is
we'll talk
the,
about MIBR, but
seeding
MIBR
for
did not look like a slouch for a minute, and then
MIBR will always let you down. That's again, you have to learn this. MIBR and Pain will always let you down.
all right. So those are the 3-0 teams. The 0-3 teams, Wildcard and Big. I had a lot more expectations for Wildcard. I expected 1 and 3.
I thought
Yeah,
it
I
was
thought
quite
it-
difficult to pick 0-3 teams.
No, I agree with that, but I also agree with what Logan said. I really thought they were going to beat FaZe and then get dumpstered for the rest of their games.
They were it was 13-10.
Yeah, they nearly did. Yeah. But like
it wasn't like ridiculous.
it was really hard to pick 0-3 teams, which is why I think there are a lot of people predicting stuff like I think even we kind of said we wouldn't be that surprised if Spirit went 0-3 because it's like it's really hard to actually pick an 0 like all of the teams who would normally consider 0-3 teams here, you kind of expected to get a win. 3D Max, Gamer Legion, I just kind of expected to just get a win somewhere.
Yeah, like it's really difficult. And there was real thoughts of like we had talked about Big win 0-3, right? We had like real conversations about Big like getting through 3-1 that they looked really fucking good in the opening stage. Or
Yeah,
getting through
they
in, like,
look solid. I mean,
I thought they'd maybe
they just don't have the firepower. Yeah, they just don't have the firepower. It's always been their problem.
I think Big
Um,
is just quite unfortunate though. Like, I really like Crimbo. I think Crimbo could play on any team in the world, and I think JDC is like actually doing a lot better than a lot of people would have expected him to in these roles compared to the roles that they probably would have seen him last play on Mouse because he was watching a 0-0 Nation game.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
they just don't. They don't have the juice compared to the rest of the teams.
No, that's.
I mean, here's the thing: they played Big themselves. Played the first 2 games that they played that got them into 0-2 were against teams who were better than them.
Yeah.
Like straight up, Heroic is a better team than Big, and G2 is a better team than Big. What more do we need to say there? You should go 0-2, and then you lose in a close match against Pain. I don't know where I rank Pain versus Big, but they're roughly in the same ballpark. Like,
Yeah,
yes, you win out
are a
0-3.
better team.
You win out 0-3, but like, is it that much of a surprise considering who you played to get to 0-3?
There's kind of no shame in going 0-3 in this stage. Like, unless you're a big team, like this is a hard stage. Like, there's a lot of
unless you
solid teams
lose
here.
like Gamer Legion into 3D Max into Wildcard or something like that, and even
I don't
then
even
I'm not
think that,
like yeah.
Losing to Gamer Legion are solid, man. Like,
No,
3D Max
there
are
are-
kind of scary. Like,
There's
I don't know.
no slouch here.
Yeah, there's no really bad teams. And I feel like, Big and Wildcard going 0-3, you're like, you would be a little annoyed you didn't win a game, but like, that's a hard group to get.
No, like
lot of
both
change
these had
from Wildcard.
hard journeys. Like Wildcard play, FaZe, Spirit, Gamer Legion. That's hard.
Yeah, like, that's not
Like, what the fuck are you supposed to
That is
do?
a horrid run.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of
Losing
teams,
your first game and getting donk afterwards is so sad. Like, what are you supposed to do? You lose your first game, you're like, alright, we got a chance now, lad. A fucking donk turns up and just shits on your face. He's 18 and 7. He's not even.
well, and then you have to go play against Ash. Like fuck all the
just-
players and stuff. Ash will properly prep for that match.
Yeah, he just seems like.
Like, what are you
a
doing?
good coach. Yeah, like I'm not disappointed in Wildcard or Big, to be honest. Like, what
No.
are you supposed to do?
All right, 3-1 teams. G2, Spirit, and Sam's new favorite team, Team Liquid.
Yeah, they just keep losing after winning that opening game.
Yeah, how's that one win in the opening stage going, Sam?
If only
Right.
they had Flame F, maybe
Okay.
they would have got one win in the opening stage.
Okay. They lost to a team that didn't even make the playoffs, therefore they must be bad. Ignore what team it is, please.
Yeah.
They then
Yeah.
beat 3 teams that are just quite shit.
In this group that we just said where everyone's decent. Yeah.
Well, they didn't make the playoffs, did they? So they can't be that good.
Yeah, well,
I don't make the rules, Elliot. I just enforce
I'll remember
them.
that next time you try and tell me Alexi B is
but
good.
you know who? Okay,
Alexi
but you know
B
who
is
else
good, go fuck
played
yourself.
2 out of those 3? You know who played 2 out of those 3 teams and also made the playoffs? Vitality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It does help.
because
Playing
they're on
MIBR
their
does
way-
just improve your chances of making
they're
the
on their
playoffs.
way to another fraudulent major win. I mean, I'm gonna go all in
I've
on
just
the...
decided I hate MIBR.
I don't know why. I feel like
hate him.
I feel like you should really like Insani though. I feel like he's your type
He's
of guy.
so inconsistent. Like he actually,
Exactly.
No, 'cause he's actually really quite overrated. Like he's actually just not that good at all.
Oh, he's not. No, he's certainly not what people think he is.
No, he's
No.
like he's basically like he's decent and he has pop off. Like that's what his peak is insane, but he
How
hits
old
it
is
like
he?
once every 4 games, like 20 or something. I don't know.
He's definitely
Young.
one of those players that's like, it doesn't really matter how old he is. Like he could be 18.
20.
He'll be playing this way when he's 23, 24. Like
Yeah, he's gonna be the exact same player in 4 years. Actually, he's probably worse in 4 years because
he's
won't be
Brazilian
20
res.
Yeah, that's harsh.
That's
He's better than Rez. He actually has pop-off games. Rez hasn't had a pop-off game since 2017.
I'm now intrigued
When
when
was
Rez's
Oakland?
last pop-off game was. You two talk for a second.
it was in Oakland.
It was in Oakland. Yeah, I can tell you now. It's in Oakland.
No.
No,
'Cause I know he had one
is-
singular map. He shat on people in like a blast group stage.
We're really pulling it back to one
like-
singular map.
No, to
Yeah,
put
mate,
us
it's a
back on
pop-off
track,
game, innit?
To put us back on track, the reason I don't like MIBR is because what you've just said. Like, oh yeah, Vitality have gone through because they 2-0'd MIBR. Liquid have gone through because they beat MIBR 2-1. Like, MIBR have put themselves in the 2-0 and then just shit the bed because they always do this. They always put themselves in a good spot and they just give somebody a fucking belly rub and say, yeah, you go enjoy the next round because they just bottle it every time.
Okay.
They bottle it and I hate them.
Okay, so how?
Can we talk about the 3-1 teams that I'd previously
Oh,
stated about?
we can in one moment. I've found a game.
Okay, talk about your res pop-off game.
Wait, it's a single map actually. He so in the first map
serious.
in the first map of this series he did have a .49 rating, but in the second map against Amcal, which Nif won 13-3.
No, this series, no. This series is not real. This series is not real.
What you're telling me is the last time Rez had a good game was in the worst game ever.
I think
he
it was
went-
actually the sequel to the worst game
in-
ever. But yes.
In a 13-3 win on Ancient, he went 21-8, sorry, with a 2.08 rating.
But that was the sequel to the worst game ever, right?
Oh, okay. I
One
found
in the prequel to it.
I've found one against Furia, also on Ancient, 13-7. He went 22-10, 1.51, and that's about as good as it gets. When you
Dreadful
res.
player. Absolutely, yeah. Like calling Insani Brazilian Rez is really harsh. Like he's a lot better
Yeah.
than that.
There's another
Alright,
one
he's
here
still
playing
not that
against
good.
God's Reign, but if you know about God's Reign, you know it doesn't count.
3-1 teams. G2 Liquid Spirit.
G2 are a permanent 3-1 fixture because they're just like probably the best team in the world, except they will just choke one. Like they are just going to lose one of those games. It doesn't really matter.
I'm surprised Liquid was 3-1 and not 3-2.
Again, like Game of Legion, Fury, MIBR. It's not the hardest run.
I'm surprised
No.
the 3 came at the start.
For what it's worth, the 3 teams that they played against, they won against the exact same 3 teams that Vitality won against. The only difference is they lost to Na'Vi in the opener.
Yeah.
That's
Losing your opening game, I think, actually just makes it easier to qualify.
What was
I don't know
Spirit's
if I'm just delusional. All right, yes, Spirits.
So
was
Spirits
wildcard,
run was
Na'Vi, heroic.
Spirits out of
Lost
Spirit
to
had a hard
Furia, win to Wildcard, win against Na'Vi, win against Heroic.
I'd say it maybe benefited G2 because they played
big
big and
3D,
3D
match
maps.
phase. Yeah, definitely helped them.
They did lose to the Mongols.
And Liquid lost their opening one, and then got Gamer Legion, Fury, or MIBR. Again, that's because MIBR's seed is too high because they're actually just fucking rubbish. They're actually just rubbish when it matters.
You know MIBR was the lowest seed in the event, right?
But then they boosted their seed up by going 2-0 and then bottled it. That's what I'm saying. They just bottle it every time.
They boosted their seed, but they went up 1, and then they played Na'Vi, which started whatever the fuck happened with Na'Vi.
Yeah, well.
And then they got to play the 2-0 match. They, what?
Yeah, they beat Na'Vi. Exactly, that's my point. They just ruined the whole thing.
All right, 3-1 teams. Gamer Legion, 3D Max, Pain. There's no shame being here. This is about what I expected from any of these teams.
The only shame is finishing lower than MIBR.
All right, let's talk about the 2-2 matches then.
Yeah.
Okay, 2-2 match number 1 was Furia FaZe. Furia and FaZe both belong in the 2-2 match.
Yeah, it was a good game as well. It was like a really enjoyable game to watch. Watching Fallen play decently is just fun. I just love watching. I just want Fallen to do well.
Have you decided? Have you decided whether you think Furia are good or not yet?
Nope.
No, me neither. I was just checking.
No,
just checking
this game. I'm none the wiser after it. You watch the
now,
first
for what
match,
it's worth,
maybe they're okay. Then you remember FaZe are bad, and they still lose anyway.
I was gonna say, for what it's worth, FaZe won this game.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would say
yeah
that although I'm not sure whether Furia are good or not, still, I think by April next year, they're probably consistent top 10, making a couple playoffs, and I really wouldn't be surprised to see them in top 8 at the next major.
Yeah, but would you be surprised if they fell off the fucking face of the earth?
Oh, absolutely not.
And were the third best Brazilian team?
I actually would be surprised if because they're just everyone in Brazil is so scared of Fallen that they just don't beat him. It's like they never nobody ever does better than Fury because they just. Que Sarasso will always be the best player in Brazil, and Fallen will always be the IGL everyone else is trying to be in Brazil. So they'll always be the best team in Brazil, and I think they'll always just sort of hover around 10 to 15th. I don't see them improving. I also think FaZe beating them doesn't give me any more insight into how good FaZe are, other than that I don't think they're that
we didn't talk about this with Spirit.
But if they go from 10 to 15, if they're in that 10 to 15, next year, especially with how the invites work, you could see a pretty big. If teams go on to have consistent results, you could see a pretty big gap in how you view a team you view the 10th and 11th teams compared to the 15th team, because that 15th team is realistically going out dead last in a lot of events, because with how the invites work. If these teams all do just realise that because of the prize pools to hang on to these invites, they've got to accept every single one, they're just going to keep going out dead last, and they're always going to be at every event.
Mm-hmm.
Can we?
And MIBR are going to be every fucking event as well.
I want to talk about Mirage for a minute. We didn't talk about this with Spirit, but Skulls and Donk had almost identical 4K clutches from Ramp.
Donk's was a 5, which helps, but the first one's a trade, so
But I don't want to talk about it on the Skulls and Donk did awesome things, because they did, but on the other hand, how bad are pros at playing against Ramp? Because they all peaked one by one. It was real bad.
Have you seen their POVs though?
I haven't. I've only seen the Donk and the Skulls POVs.
There's videos of both of them of the POVs of the players who die, and when you look at it, you're like, oh yeah, fair. You know what?
I've not seen them.
Okay.
I think it's in the Donk one. In the Donk one, somebody's holding. Is it Dexter's holding it? Oh no, somebody's holding from Triple with an AWP, and Donk just peeks and just fucking owns it. And you see it from the AWP's perspective. It's just it's immediate.
I'd like to see Rops's perspective on the Skulls one, because Rops is the guy on stairs, and if he is shooting, he is missing a lot of bullets. He is missing a serious amount of bullets.
The FaZe one is burned into my head, not just because of that, but because I don't know who was sticking the bomb there, but the second you get two teammates that start to go
Nah,
down.
no. We're not blaming the guy sticking the bomb
I'm
in
not
a 4v1.
blaming the guy
for
sticking the bomb.
All of his teammates
But, like-
dying around him. That's not his fault.
What the fuck?
No. He has to hold it. There's no way you can
but it
tap
is-
that bomb.
It is impressive that they both got almost
Yeah.
identical clips from the same place within like 2 matches of each other.
Yeah, like the world's weird like that, isn't it? You wait that when Floppy won 2 1v5s in back-to-back days. Like sometimes it's just you had to like it is odd, and I think the schools one is. I don't know if it's better. It's more dramatic.
The Skulls one's more dramatic because it brings them. It keeps them in the game for a second or two longer.
He also has like the quick switch to the pistol, and that's cool.
He does have the pistol at the
It's
end.
very like Wild West.
The Skulls one is more dramatic because they lost the game.
They both lost, I think.
Yeah, they both
Dunk
lost
wins
that.
a 1v5. Dunk wins a 1v5 and they lost the next round and went out.
Yeah, but Furia
went out,
lost. Furia lost that series, not that they
Oh,
lost
I
the
see.
map and the series, but Spirit won the series,
Yeah, but they lost.
won the best of 3. Okay, let's move on. We need to talk about the other matches here. MIBR Mouths.
Not asked.
Yep.
It's very obvious 2-0 winnable. MIBR
Sorry,
in a
not
big Mouse on stage is nowhere near as like powerful or like negative as MIBR in a match that actually fucking matters. So
Okay, well that's good because we need to spend actual time in the last 2-2 match, which was Na'Vi versus Heroic. Yes, Na'Vi, the team that we went into this major saying was probably the best team in the world.
Yeah.
So the Na'Vi run beat Liquid, lose to MIBR, lose by a lot to Spirit, beat Gamer Legion, lose to Heroic.
Yeah, they got their salad tossed by Chopper and Spirit in that Spirit game. They got absolutely owned. Like they just got like their Mirage
Salad
was
tossed by Chopper.
Don't look up what that means. Their Mirage, this whole event was horrendous. Like it was so bad. They could not win Mirage.
I just based on how Na'Vi did more than any other team, I'm very surprised that we haven't seen an interview yet from any players really, but especially the Na'Vi players complaining about burnout towards the end of the year. Like if you get to like last year, like I know last week we were talking about dead teams at World Final, but also one of the main things players were saying at World Final is, it's like the end of the season now, just a bit burnt out. And it was the same thing at Blast London earlier this year. It's the end of the season.
Say maybe
they're
if we
burnt
didn't
out.
have Blast Global just before this, they would have been a little bit more rested.
Well, sure, but like, I don't get why suddenly players aren't complaining about being burnt out. Like, has the major done that much for them? I doubt it.
I think people get annoyed when they talk about burnout. That's probably why.
Well, no, sure they do. And like, honestly, fuck those people because they clearly can't actually think through the fact that burnout is probably very real for people who have this game that they like that is now bad. Remember, like it is bad to play, and it's also work. Like nothing's fun when it's work, really. I'm sure certain parts of it are. Like I'm sure going out on stages
That's Johnny Sins.
is fun. Well, I bet even he gets
you just
bored
say?
don't worry about it, Logan. You're too young, mate. You're too young.
No, I spaced out for a second.
Yeah. another one. Don't look that up.
Yeah, don't.
Definitely don't look up Johnny Sins tossing salad. Definitely don't look that up.
But yeah, so
100% don't look that up, I promise you.
let's get away from the salad tossing. I am surprised that nothing's been said about burnout, especially in the case of Na'Vi, because I feel like it probably is actually a realistic factor. But my main thing that I want to say about Na'Vi is that I really hope that Simple isn't back there pulling some politics bullshit.
We're all on the same page. We talked about this last week. No more Simple.
Yeah, we all agreed he's going to FlyQuest.
True.
For
He
Alistair.
does need to.
It's
He does
clearly
need to.
clearly the funniest answer is
Chaotic
is Flight
evil.
Quest Simple.
No,
Because
but
I want to know if he stresses the Australians out or if they chill him out.
That's a good point.
they chill him out, mate. The first
Yeah,
time
he
he has a
becomes,
smoke
like,
with Liaz,
Buddha.
he'll be fixed.
Yeah, he becomes Buddha and he just wins everything.
There is no way that Liaz doesn't smoke multiple fat ones a day.
I don't know. Did you guys see? I don't know if you guys saw this, but
It's gotta be
Simple was in a
libelous.
Valorant.
Yeah, that
match,
probably
like,
is.
a
I'd
couple
like
weeks
to
ago.
retract that statement. Sorry, what are you saying, Logan? I'm just protecting my back
No,
for
I'm so-
legal
so
reasons.
I was on Reddit or something the other day. Simple was playing in a Valorant Radiant Asia Invitational.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see
He was
that.
the
It's
only
very fun.
like. He was the only like. I mean, Dan King was the guy on the other team.
Let's go.
Fantastic. Do you know how he did? Can we look up how he did?
No, I have no clue, but I do know that the Chinese government made him cover up the airplane tattoo he has on his hand.
Oh, I did see that, yeah.
That's how I saw it.
Yeah, they made him cover up the CS graffiti because Riot were a normal, well-adjusted company.
Okay, shall we talk about the playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh,
why
we
not?
can do.
Yes. So playoffs, they start Thursday.
Thursday
Wednesday morning. Soon. They start soon after you hear this.
Are you
So
going to
as
be able
you hear
to?
this, go to sleep and you'll have missed the first one.
Are you going to be able to watch any of the playoffs, Logan, or are they at actually abhorrent
Absolutely not.
times for you?
1 a.m. and 4 a.m.
Ooh,
And
fuck that.
as stated in our group chat before, have a 9 to 3:30, 9 to 4:30, 9 to 5 job. And
Yeah,
am
you
not
pretend
sta-
like you
will
do
not be
work.
up at
You pretend.
will not be up at 1 a.m. watching the Mongols. So first quarterfinal, Mongols versus Maos. I have my pick'ems in front of me. I feel very confident about the Mongols.
No, I don't. I think this is a hard game. We talk about Mouse like on stage. Mongols have less experience and they're younger.
I understand all of that, but take the stage bit away, and Mongols have just looked like a better team
Yeah.
than Maos.
I think
They have.
the
but-
first
Like, if
three
both
games,
teams can't perform on stage, then who cares?
the first three games we're going to talk about are all 50-50 games, but this one's the most 50-50.
I think Spirit Liquid's.
That's
the
some good
60-40
maths
for
for you
Spirit.
right there. Yeah, okay.
I
fine.
think Spirit should beat Liquid quite comfortably, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm still waiting for the Spirit
yeah.
total mental collapse.
Yeah. Yeah, so am I, but I don't think
Spirit-
it's coming against, like,
Donk's gonna
Yekindar
get
and
killed
Ultimate.
3 times by Yekindar, and that's when the collapse comes.
I would not be surprised if Yekindar does not kill Donk 3 times. in
Yeah,
this series.
I was going to say, like, if Yekindar
If
gets
someone
more
kills
than,
Donk, I don't think it's Yekindar.
if Yekindar gets more than 2 kills against Dunk, I will be fucking amazed. This, like, genuinely,
I don't know about that, but
it could be a
I had
free
a
map
bet
series.
that I was gonna bring up.
It could
I
be
had
a
a bet that I
free
was gonna
map
bring up
series with
about that, but-
overtimes. And he won't kill
Talk
him more
about
than
the
3
bet later.
times. Just won't happen.
That's dumb.
I don't know about that. But I wouldn't be that surprised if Yekindar doesn't kill Donk for the entire series.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be that surprised.
I do see that.
Because it could be like a
Um,
quick 2-0 with Yekindar going like 6 and 30.
And
Spirit
he'll still
Liquid's
stay on the
interesting.
team.
G2 Heroic is a match of all time.
G2 Heroic is... I'm so sad that's at 6 o'clock and not at 9. I really want to watch that. I have legitimately no
No
idea
clue.
who wins that
Absolutely no clue.
I think that will be probably the best game of the playoffs overall.
game. I don't know. If
G2
it's
Heroic.
G2 Vitality in the semis, that could be biblical.
Yeah, alright,
So the
fair
other
enough, that could
the
be
last
quite
match is Vitality phase. And I think that we can all just I feel fairly
The problem
confident in
is,
Vitality.
the problem is, FaZe are rubbish. And Vitality don't lose to bad teams. And that
Yes.
is exactly why this is the exact sort of fucking game that FaZe will pull out of their fucking arsehole and win. Somehow, Carrigan is going to drop like 60. I don't know how, but he's going to do the fucking clap at fucking 12-2 down. And they're going to come back and win a game in triple overtime. And they're going to somehow beat Vitality. I don't know how,
Well,
because they're rubbish.
No, Elliot, you know how they're going to do it. He's just going to rush A.
He's going to do the clap and he's going to rush A, and somehow it's still going to work 12 years later.
I'm convinced
So
you
I'm
could...
already annoyed at it.
I'm convinced you could IGL a solid CT side against Carrigan, you know. I actually don't think he'd stand a
stack
chance
A.
if you had some competent players. Like, you'd know every round he was going to rush A. Like, he'd be fucked.
I guarantee you, right, IEM Cologne, you know when Twist does the drop? Because
Yeah.
Carrigan rushes A 2 rounds in a row. I was sat in the crowd screaming, Electronic, if you've anything about you, start 4 players A. I promise you, Carrigan is rushing A. I promise you. I bet my fucking life on it. I bet my house on it. Carrigan's rushing A. He's rushing A. He always rushes A here. He rushed A and they had 2 players there and lost the sight. I was apoplectic.
Honestly, the amount of times I've sat next to you and you've said Carrigan's about to rush A and he's done it is it's insane. Like, it's actually
It's so
insane.
predictable and it works every time.
Okay. So semis.
We'll go.
I think we
Mongols
should get them out,
slash
but-
Mao's- I'm just leaving this like we have not made an actual decision on any of these matches. So
Mouse Spirit,
Yeah, go on,
G2 Vitality.
let me get him back up. Mongols, Spirit, G2 Vitality.
I
Logan,
have
you get the
Mongols
deciding
Liquid G2
vote.
Vitality. I have Mongols Liquid G2 Vitality. So
All right,
we'll go
so for the
podcast,
So for the
for
purpose
the purpose of
this,
the
then
podcast, it's Mongols,
Mongols
Spirit
and
G2
Spirit.
Vitality.
cool.
Yes.
The thing
for
is,
purpose of the podcast.
Mongols aren't going to win because everyone wants them to win. The world doesn't work like that.
I don't know what to tell you.
Somebody
There's a lot
has
of
to be
G2
upset.
and Vitality fans, man, and they win things. Actually, I guess G2.
Yeah,
doesn't
but,
win
like-
things. There's a lot of
yeah.
Vitality fans.
But like everyone wants Mongols to win, except like Mouse. But everyone wants Mongols. Like, everyone wants them to win.
I think
the
even
major.
Mao's fans want Mongols to win.
Yeah. Like everyone wants the Mongols to win the major, so it just won't happen. I'm sorry.
On my pick'ems
Would be
like
good though,
are
wouldn't it?
unironically Mongols winning the major.
It would be good. They might lose in the final, but they're not winning the whole thing.
But
They
okay,
can do a
their
Luke
side,
Littler.
their side of the bracket feels like it's very doable, right? You play the winner of Spirit Liquid. I
Yeah.
feel like it's doable to beat Spirit / Liquid.
If you were
It
gonna,
is, but eventually, Vitality come and just fucking well, what was his name? Dikembe Mutombo. Vitality eventually come in, slap your shot away, and just wag the finger.
Okay,
like this.
so here's my hot take. On the other side, I have G2 Vitality in
Basketball.
semis,
oh, fuck off.
and I have G2 beating Vitality.
G2 have got.
Sorry,
a better chance
say
of beating
the
Vitality
first one
than anyone
again.
else.
So the first one, I was thinking about G2 Vitality.
Which first one?
The
The first match?
the first semi. Like, who'd you say would win?
I said Mongols.
Oh right, because you've got Mongols winning the major. I could.
I think
Yeah,
it's a
okay.
Mongols G2 grand final.
Oh, it does sound fun, doesn't it?
N-
It does sound
It would
fun.
be fun if it would be fun for Nico to lose another grand final. But that is
Especially
objectively
to
the
an
funniest
Asian
thing that could
team.
happen.
Wait,
Like the Mongols
so
are
you're
good.
tell-
We all
wait.
know they're good. But if Nico loses
Yeah,
a major
he
final,
could lose
to
major
us-
finals to people. He could lose major finals to 3 different continents.
he just needs Brazil.
Oh,
he
it'd be
needs
so
South
good.
America, and he's got the Thanos glove of lost
If he,
majors.
if he lost to complexity as well, they could add Africa in there.
Oh my
who has the
God.
most major final losses? The Guardian and
Somebody
Nico
on
tied.
NIP, I think.
Oh right, yeah, it would be because it'd be.
NIP are 1 and 4.
Yeah,
in
they
major
lost
finals.
4, didn't they? That's boring.
Yeah.
Nico's got a while
I
to go
don't
yet.
know. I'm not.
No, it'll be
Convinced.
it'll be Get Right,
Well-
Forest, Exist, Freiburg.
Yeah.
It'll be those 4.
I know they've lost 4 major finals because I once wrote what I think is my greatest tweet, which was, "Girl, are you NIP's record in the major final because you're the only one for me."
No,
I
I'm
just think
sorry.
it's brilliant.
I'm sorry. Your greatest ever tweet is another Swedish tweet. It's calling Olof Meister the Swedish Ustillo. That is your finest
so
tweet.
Disrespectful. It's so disrespectful. Olof Meister is like a legitimate GOAT contender compared him to Ustillo.
Awful player.
He's more of a lobster contender.
Oh,
Oh dear God. Okay. Semi-final game.
but yeah.
The Mongols are good.
Mongols are good.
Yep.
I do kind of want to see Donk versus Monacy in the major final though.
There's a lot of good matchups for major final. I think any major final we get will be interesting.
All right. What's the worst major final we could have?
The worst major final we can have is Liquid Heroic.
It's Liquid Phase. It's Liquid Phase.
That one would
be a stinker. It would be so bad.
That one would also be.
No, I think
no,
I'm
Liquid
with Logan.
Phase.
I think
Liquid
Liquid
Phase would be more
Heroic would be
interesting than
worse.
Liquid Heroic.
Liquid Heroic
Liquid
would
Phase
be a
would be
bad
more
game.
interesting because there's, at the very least, there's a storyline for Liquid Phase.
Yeah.
There is, like, you can make a video about, like, Twist left Carrigan. He went to NA. He built this team against him. So it's Twist versus Carrigan. There is story you can build up behind it. There is absolutely no Liquid Heroic story. The Liquid Heroic story is Refresh used to play for Heroic, and he had a good clip against them 3 years ago. That's the entire story.
Yeah, that's. I don't think there's that much of a story with Liquid Fate because FaZe would just beat them quite handily. To be honest, I don't think Ultimate would get a kill. Carrigan would just watch every one of his demos and just stick Brokey.
I was gonna say, what do you say? You're saying that Brokey's gonna outduel Ultimate? I'm not convinced that's the thing that happened.
Yeah,
no, but actually,
he's so cold.
Actually, this is backing me up on why Liquid Heroic would be worse. Brokey's had a pretty fucking dire major, right? Like, if FaZe were to beat Liquid, I promise you a big part of it is Brokey beating Ultimate. Because that's exactly how FaZe used to beat Na'Vi, is they'd just have Brokey fucking paedophilic man-mark Simple out of the game. If he can't hit a shot, Ultimate's just gonna murder him. So, actually, could be a good game.
What is the best possible final we can get? Because it's G2 versus
G2 versus anyone. Yeah, it's literally G2 versus Spirit or G2 versus Mon. G2 Spirit would just be such a there wouldn't be a single actual execute round the entire
I can't
game.
explain why, but G2 Mouse is the worst of the possible G2 finals. But I can't explain why.
G2 batter Mouse in a grand final. They batter them. G2 Spirit is such a it's just an aim off. You might as well put it on AWP India. Neither of them. The maps won't even matter. You can play any maps. It won't matter.
Bring back Blast Overtime 1v1s and just have that be the
That's what
final.
this would be like. Chopper's execute are 5 flashes in the same spot, and Snax's executes are a default. Neither of them can run a T-side properly. Choppers are just all fast hits, and Snaxes are all just sort of slow walk and hope Nico and Malvs headshot people. It would just be who aims better on the day. And that's why G2 win, is because they make every game into a mess.
I kind of really want the G2 Spirit final now, I can't lie.
Yeah, it would be nonsense.
I'm really hoping... G2 are my third pick for winning this. I want Mongols too, because I just quite like the Mongols. I want Vitality too, because Mezzi. And then G2... There are 2 really funny things that could happen from G2 winning a major. One of them is that the contract's not finalised and he then tells Falcons to fuck off again. Would just be quite funny. The second one...
That would be funny.
...is he wins his major, leaves Monacy. Monacy for some reason doesn't follow him to Falcons, and then Nico fails to win anything for a year. Which... I'm not sure which of those 2 is funnier.
That same storyline of Nico leaves after the major, if they lose in the grand finals, Nico leaves, Monacy stays, Monacy wins major, Nico continues to lose.
Oh my god, there's a
That's a good
third funny outcome. G2 have to be in the
secret
finals.
third
So many
G2
funny
have to be in
things
the
can
final-
happen.
They have to
Whether or
lose.
not they win or lose actually doesn't matter. It will be funny regardless. No matter what happens, G2 being in the final is just good content.
And if G2 lose, we get another notch in the Nico Thanos ring.
Yeah. Especially if it's to Mongols.
I do have a question for you, Elliot.
It's Trivial Pursuit.
If it's to Liquid, we get another continent too. We got Australia.
True. I do have a
Just
question
saying.
for Elliot though. Elliot,
Go
you
on.
like to talk about rings and how important winning a major is, and you've always
It
used
is.
that as an argument against Nico. If Nico
Yeah.
wins the major, where
Snacks
do
fixed
you
him.
rank him amongst players
Below
in history?
Snacks. Below
Well,
Snacks.
Snacks has
Snacks
2
will have
rings.
2.
Nico only has 1.
Owned
Fair
lived
enough.
hard.
No, it's fine. But will he lose a fraud status?
No, he won't lose fraud status. But I'll
Okay.
have some more respect. Like I have more respect for Alexi B nowadays. Now he won a major. He's now at least as good as James.
Is Nico?
You're
No,
a very
I'm not even
fickle
gonna bother
man,
asking
Elliot.
this. Never
You're a very, very fickle man.
Changing your opinion based on new information is what intelligent people do.
I'd say there's a lack
I
of
got new
nuance to
information.
your
He's not a
information.
loser. I got new information that he's not actually a serial loser. So he
He
went up
now
to my
passes the
estimation.
vibe check.
No, he definitely doesn't pass the vibe
no.
check.
He
But he-
passes
No,
the trophy check.
no, Nico passes the vibe check.
No, he doesn't. I'm afraid.
You were in Katowice, mate. Nico passes the vibe check and you know it.
Doesn't pass the vibe check.
No, I'm
All
not
right.
having
Malbs
that.
and Snacks have fixed him.
I'm not having that. Nico passes the vibe check. Funny bloke.
All right, let's
No.
finish this up. We're gonna be back next week. We have a big show next week. So next week is major final, a major recap, and we're gonna have Sam on again. We're gonna do predictions for next year, and we're gonna look back at Elliot and I's predictions for all of this past year, which last year went famously well.
I will say, I'm pretty sure I said Donk was going to be the #1 player this year
I'm pretty
before
sure
I'd
both of
even
us
seen
said,
him play.
I'm pretty sure both of us said Maus were gonna win a major this year. So
You said Mal's were. I said Spirit were.
You're mental, Logan. I didn't know any of this. You're mental, mate.
well, you'll find out everything that we said next week. Cause
In
it's,
other news for next
it's
week,
something.
I'm also going to execute Elliot on camera.
Well,
I'm going to
make
find
sure
out
to
his
tune in next week to
predictions
see-
and they're going to anger me, so it's going to have to happen.
All right, we'll come back to this all next week. You can find us on Twitter at Logan Rahab, at AZS, at ANIMOCS2, and that has a 1 in it, and at
Damn, he got
ReTLDR.
it.
We'll be back next
He
week. This episode
got
was
it.
produced by Mac. Episode was edited by Mac, produced by James. We'll be back next week. Hello.